whatever. People tell us we're crazy. You know, in the comment section on StacySports.com, tell us we're nuts. Tell us how much you love Tebow. That's fine. We'll eat it. We have to. But at the end of the day, you know, we ain't buying it. You know, we're not buying it. We think that, you know, we're of the opinion that, you know, results, you know, are what should get you your hype. Results are what should earn you your hype. Can't nobody take away from Tebow that he won those 6 or 7 games. That's right. They can't take that away from him. He did have results. I get that. Problem is, he also had 3 consecutive losses going into the playoffs that year, backed into the playoffs. Didn't play well at all. Far too inconsistent. So, it is what it is. You know, we're going to see how that situation pans out. But again,
on a brighter note, hey, football's here. You know, college starts this weekend, NFL next weekend. It's time to chop it up, baby. It's football season. It's one of the best times of the year, no doubt about it. I think it's a lot of. I think it's some parity in the NFL, no doubt about it. I mean, Baltimore is a defending champs, but they lost a lot of guys, but I still think they'll be a respectable team. 49ers, they're looking like they got a chance to, go back, again or go deep in the playoffs, no doubt about it. As far as the 2 Super Bowl teams, so it's possible they could, make the playoffs again, which is, rare for, both Super Bowl teams to make the playoffs the following season. But you never know. I mean, it's a lot of uncertainty, especially in the AFC. You got the Patriots situation. How does Brady adjust? Will he adjust? And, he'll get guys to step up. And there's a lot of good storylines going into the season as far as, like, new players, how they adjust to the systems. And, hey, I'm excited. I'm a diehard Cowboy fan, but, I think we improved the O-line and, defensively. And, now it's time for, Romo to step up and be the guy. The organization showed confidence in him by paying him. And, I mean, that's all you can ask for is, people around you that are confident in you. Now you got to go out there and make it happen.
Because I do. Because don't get me wrong. Listen, I've always been a Romo supporter. So don't get me wrong. When I say that I wish he had more playoff wins, and I think the results are what matters. I'm by no means calling him sorry. What I'm saying is I like the fact that the organization has shown that type of confidence in him to be able to get it done. My question is at what point do we start looking at results as being the basis of these huge salaries as opposed to what we think we're going to make off your jersey sales? And I think that's what we're seeing a little bit with Tony Romo, because Tony Romo has played well, let's face it, throughout this stretch of the past 4 or 5 years. He's played well, but it's just he doesn't have that playoff in him, that closing in him. And so it's like, okay, at some point, I'm going to have to start looking at this dude and be like, okay, what am I paying you for again? And so there are a lot of interesting storylines. I'm looking for him to get it done. I'm looking for Phillip Rivers to get it done. Phillip Rivers, another guy. This guy is number 2 in the entire NFL in turnovers the last 2 years, only behind Mark Sanchez. I'm looking at Joe Flacco. Okay, Joe, you got your money. You're butt naked on defense, basically. I like Campy. I like those guys. But, let's face it, you don't have Ray Lewis anymore. You don't have Ed Reed. You're going to have to carry this team, you and Ray Rice. And, let's see it now. You like Nas said, you went platinum, now let's see you do it again. So, or was that Jay-Z? I'm a little unclear. Anyway, my point is that there are a lot of interesting storylines to look forward to this NFL season. I don't think RG3 is getting too much hype at all. I don't think he's being overhyped. I don't think he's being oversold. You finally have something in Washington to get excited about again. Let's face it, it's been 30 years since 20 years since they won a championship, 20-plus years. Come on. He gives you something to be excited about. He's back earlier than expected. Adrian Peterson, let's face it, he wrote the book on how to come back, and I think RG3 is going to have just that good a year. So I don't know why the media is crucifying him. I don't know why the media is taking this opportunity to vilify a guy as opposed to sort of praise him for a great comeback story. So, you have to scratch your head and wonder, what's going on there. Well, why is it becoming popular to sort of take a dive on RG3? So, but again, an interesting season nevertheless. Some interesting cuts here going down the stretch in the preseason. Banks obviously getting cut from the Falcons. Now, many of you may not know this was a guy who was accused of rape, and did 5 years in prison. And the girlfriend finally recanted her story, and he was released. And but he lost 5 years of his life. Now, I applaud the Falcons for giving him a look. I wish the guy had made the team. Obviously, it was a devastating, story for him to lose 5 years of his life for something he didn't do. But again, I'm sure he got a lot further than, a lot of players hope to get, or a lot of people, that try out for NFL and stuff like that get. So, my hat's off to that guy for keeping his head up, persevering, fighting through it, the adversity and keeping it moving like that. Other significant cuts, obviously Tebow. We talked about Tebow being a cut. I know that's going to be story number one. I had no doubt that he would be cut. Not saying that I'm an NFL professional, but, I think the train has finally.
Vince Young is probably another, notable name. I know he came into camp. Matt Leinart got cut by the Bills. He came into camp a little bit late with the Packers. I think, he showed a solid, preseason. He had a solid preseason when he got the opportunity to get in there behind the center. We all know Aaron Rodgers is the guy, but one of the most irrelevant positions in the NFL is being behind, a guy like Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers. More than likely, you're not going to see the field unless something catastrophic happens. And you always got to be ready though, because you never know in the NFL. But
do you think? But specifically speaking about him, I think somebody else will sign him. I think he's.
Yeah, I'm surprised a team like Buffalo or
I think he's played it.
I know
enough.
They got a couple of rookie quarterbacks they like, so they're gonna go with a young guy. So that's understandable, I guess. Even a team like Jets. Sanchez isn't getting done. Maybe bring in Young for 1 year. Or until you figure Geno Smith is ready. I don't know.
I'd sign him, and I still don't even forgive him for what he did for USC many years ago. But I'd sign him in a heartbeat. Just because the guy, is proven. He has a proven track record. So, there have been some significant cuts, man. It's tough to make an NFL squad. There's no question about that. It's really tough. We're starting to see just how tough it is to make a squad. I sincerely hope that this week, the media somewhat, gives some other players some juice, and gives some other players some hype and gets their name out there for being a good player. And we just don't continuously see, Tebow highlights from Florida and stuff like that. I hope that's the case. I hope the media is diligent about doing their job in highlighting some of these guys. Because, again, some of these guys we really, we don't see. We just flat out don't see unless the media shows it to us. I know that satellite cable and all that gives us, 50 million channels. But at the end of the day, some of these guys we still aren't going to see. And so I think it's a responsible media that shows you that, these guys are out here, this guy, that guy can still play, so on and so on and so on. So, hats off to those guys. I think I think some guys, had really good seasons. But it's funny, though, some guys, when you see them cut, it's almost as if like, wow, what did you see in practice that was able to, to blow this guy away, So it's interesting in itself, but, Anyway, man, we're up against it, so we'll go ahead and get out of here. I know you got things to do. I do as well. But your last but not least for the week, man?
Well, yeah, baseball's down to under 30 games left. Looks like the Pittsburgh Pirates are no doubt going to have a winning season and actually have a chance to make the playoffs, too. I know they just made another couple of signings this week in Marlon Byrd from the Mets, outfielder, veteran guy.
And Morneau.
Yeah, they just got Morneau. Two guys, Byrd and John Buck are, Byrd and Francisco Liriano are probably two guys that are right there for comeback player of the year. So you got those two guys on your roster, and then Morneau, no doubt, former MVP back in 2006, has some problems with some concussions. But, he's hot right now in August, so, if he can come over there and provide a little bit of, power in the middle of the lineup and then also protection, that's a good deal. That's a good deal for them. And then also, getting a guy like John Buck, good hitting catcher, veteran guy. Yeah, they got a good mix over there. I like what they're doing. Not too expensive, not giving up, a lot of their young players, young prospects that they like. And I think they're going to be right there. I mean, the two, Dodgers still hot, Braves are hot. National League, like I said, 5 teams, pretty much Braves, Dodgers, Reds, Pirates, and Cardinals. American League, Yankees are, starting to get hot. They're 4 games out of second wild card. Some good storylines. I mean, AL West is still wide open between Oakland and Texas. And then also the AL Central, Tigers look like they're about to wrap that up, pretty soon and get in the playoffs and maybe get back to the World Series.
Well, man, my last but not least is 2 things. Number 1, Kobe Bryant. Just stay off Twitter. I know some people out there may be scratching their heads. They know how much I love Kobe Bryant. Kobe, just in general, and just every other player that's out there, I don't need to see every step of your rehab process. I don't need to see you jumping off of a high dive to show how healthy you are or doing some other crazy stunt. I don't need you to tell me on Twitter how ready you are to start the season because you're healed and you're okay, your medical updates. I don't need to hear that. What I need to see is you come out in beast mode on the court or on the field. I am so sick and tired of Twitter and these guys giving you constant updates. I don't care if you had muffins or waffles for breakfast. I don't care. Just stop shoving that stuff down my earlobe, my throat. Stop doing it. I'm just tired of it. I don't have to know every single thing you're doing every minute of the day, especially when I know you're getting ready for a season. So yes, this criticism is directly at Kobe Bryant and other players. That Twitter is their mouthpiece. This crap today, Tebow getting cut and thanking the team via Twitter and saying, "Oh, I'm going to continue to pursue my dream," and all this other. Look. Give a press conference or get your face out there. You're popular enough. Let me see you. Or don't say nothing. We don't have to know. I don't care if they cut you. Go away. I'm just tired of it, man. I'm tired of social media because what social media has done is turn every player into a bunch of freaking half-ass reporters. What it's done is it's turned every player into like